Hello, writers, and welcome back to Spooky Writes, your channel all about writing. I'm your host, who is secretly a ghost, Kamal Onor. Now, today we're going to be talking about why so many aspiring authors, why so many want-to-be authors end up failing, why they never end up writing that book, why they never end up achieving the status of author, the status of writer. So make sure if you get any value from this episode, make sure to give it a good thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, help spread it. It means a lot. And with that said, let's head into the storm.
It's the raven's call, the werewolf's howl, the vampire's bite. You search through the woods for safety, but all you find is... Okay, rights.
So today I'm going to be talking about the idea of why so many writers, why so many aspiring writers start out with a very strong conviction, why they start out with a strong idea, but then they never have that follow through. Now, is this simply just because of the fact that so many people don't know what it actually takes to be an author, and they realize it's hard work and I actually have to write, oh my God, it's too much, and then they're just like, no, the fun part's over? I think there is something about that. I think there is some truth to that, because a lot of people have romantic rose-colored glasses of what it's like to actually be an author. And that's why I know all of you who watch these videos and all of you who subscribe to this channel, not you guys know the truth, because writing is hard work. At the end of the day, writing is work. It's not just, here's my idea and boom, it turns into a movie and you're a rich millionaire on book tour for the rest of your life. That's not the case. Obviously, the truth is that writing is hard work and it takes time, it takes dedication. So why is it that so many people who in fact devote a lot of time to the act of writing, why is it that so many people who go through a master's program, who get their undergrad degree in creative writing, why is it that so many people who start books, who write novel after novel, still end up at the end of the day giving up on the dream of writing? Why is this the case? I think that one of the main reasons why so many people end up giving up on this dream of writing is because of added responsibilities that occur as we get older, especially for younger authors, especially for aspiring teenagers who are posting to Wattpad, who are posting their writing to the internet, and they're full of the idea of, I want to be an author when I grow up. That's all well and good, but as you grow up, responsibilities become more challenging. I personally went to school with a lot of people who, on graduation, ended up starting a family, ended up having kids, and more obligations, more responsibilities ended up taking precedence over the desire to be an author, over the desire to continue to write, because the truth is, unless you make a conscious effort to continue to write, it's going to fall to the wayside. And this is what happens to so many people. So many people will go through, again, master's programs, they'll get their doctorate degrees in writing, and they'll never write again because they end up coming out of this bubble of academia, and suddenly the world is thrust upon them, and now they're forced to go. They still have to go pick up their kids from the soccer practice. They still have to go to the store to get groceries. They're no longer in a bubble of academia. They're no longer in this world where they're writing to deadlines. So that's the other reason why a lot of people end up giving up on the dream of writing, is once they find that it's difficult, once they find that it's challenging to continue to write, to continue to come to a blank page without the validation, without people reading your work, with the constant rejection. Constant rejection is a very tough thing, and this is one of the biggest hurdles that so many beginning authors come up against. They come up against a wall of rejection. They're writing, they're submitting, and they're feeling good about the work that they're producing, but time and time again, they're just getting hit with rejection, and each time it can sting. It can certainly cause people to question, are they even good enough? Do they have that talent? And talent is one of those things where I think a lot of people overrate talent. I think so many people are capable of developing the craft of writing, but with rejection in the face, rejection always hurts. You just need to get to a point of developing a thick skin and being able to shake it off, to quote Taylor Swift. But what separates the people who consciously just make writing a priority, who are able to continue to write despite added responsibilities, despite the rejection, what separates them from the people who don't succeed in the craft of writing? And I think there's a really great book. It's not a writing book, but I would still recommend it for anyone who is an aspiring author, and that is the book Grit by Angela Duckworth. I'll put a little image of it up on the screen there. But it's so important and she does a great job of asking this question of what separates people who are successful it's not just writers, but it's cartoonists, it's people getting into schools, it's people following through with their dreams and their aspirations. What separates the people who are successful, who achieve these lofty goals, these lofty ambitions, from the people who are not successful with this? And so I think she does a very good job of talking about this in the book. I read it years ago, but I remember she highlighted the fact that in order to get into West Point, it's a multiple year process, and they're very selective with the students that they accept. And even after that, within the first half of the semester, over 50% of the accepted class will end up dropping out because they find that it's too difficult, it's too challenging. And so this is kind of an idea that you have to take on as an author, is that yes, there are going to be challenging times with writing. Writing is not always easy. You're not always going to be filled with inspiration, but you have to write anyway. You have to find a way to push through the challenges to say, you know what, I don't have a great readership. I'm not making a ton of money with my writing, but I'm still writing, and that's where you need to view success as an author. You need to view success as, are you continuing to produce writing? Are you continuing to make writing a priority? I've been out of school since 2017 was when I finished my master's program, and one of the biggest accomplishments that I would say in my own writing career is the fact that even after completing a master's program, I am one of the few who has been able to continue to write, because so many people end up giving up because they don't have that. But so many people end up giving up because they know once they graduate from a program, they no longer have the accountability. They're no longer required to meet deadlines. There's no longer that expectation of you have to submit this packet by this deadline or you're not going to pass. So it's so important to understand that you need to hold yourself accountable. You need to make writing a priority, and you need to develop a thick skin if you are going to be successful as an author. You need to push through the hard times. You need to continue to write in darkness when no one's watching you. And I still have people who tell me point blank, I don't read horror, and I'm like, that's okay. I would still recommend that you read my work just as a way of appreciating the fact that I'm continuing to write. And so as an author, you have to push through. You have to decide, is writing so important that you're willing to sacrifice other things, that you're willing to make the commitment to writing? Or are you just going to drop it all the moment it becomes too difficult, when it becomes too challenging? So that's a choice that you have to make in your own writing career. And if you are going to be successful, I hope you choose to continue writing. And with that said, keep it spooky.